After 10 days of questions, denials, and innuendo, Congressman Anthony Weiner finally came clean. The New York Democrat admitted yesterday to sending a lewd photograph of himself to a woman on Twitter, a picture that ended up going to thousands of his online followers. Weiner also said he has carried on inappropriate contact with 6 women through social networking sites over the last 3 years. Despite all of that, Weiner says he is not resigning.
I am deeply regretting what I have done, and I am not resigning. I have made it clear that I accept responsibility for this, and people who draw conclusions about me are free to do so. I'm apologetic for doing it. It was deeply, deeply hurtful to the people I care about the most. It was something that I did that was just wrong, and I regret it.
It was quite a turnabout from last week when Weiner sat down with CBS News congressional correspondent Nancy Cortez. In that interview, he flatly denied sending the picture and made up an excuse that his Twitter account had been hacked.
The main question that a lot of people are asking is, did I send the photograph? I did not. This was a prank, a hoax. You know, we're trying to get to the bottom of the photograph. You know, why we've retained a firm that is going to take a look at the internet security that we have to make sure this doesn't happen again. Photographs can be inserted, photographs can be manipulated. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. But the important thing here is this was a prank committed on me.
All right, well, for more this morning, we are joined by Politico's senior editor, David Mark. Thanks for being with us, David.
My pleasure. Good to be here.
Oh, a lot has gone on. Okay, so Congressman Weiner lied to the public, lied to his constituents, and lied to the press. Why do you think he is not stepping down?
Because he doesn't feel that pressure at this point from constituents. There have been a whole lot of members of Congress who have had some kind of scandal, maybe not quite to this extent on the internet, but they have been able to survive. Also, it's important to remember, at least from Congressman Weiner's perspective, there's no evidence that he did anything illegal, and I think that's going to be his real defense right now. Once he gets into that realm, it's a different matter.
Well, let's talk about that realm, because House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi is opening up an ethics investigation. We saw something similar with Senator John Ensign. He remained in the Senate after admitting to a scandal, then stepped down once an investigation began. So do you think Weiner is going to eventually resign?
I'm not convinced he is, as long as no new evidence comes out. If Congressman Weiner has truly come clean, there's no more tweets out there, no more lewd phone calls, anything of that nature. If there's truly nothing else that can emerge, I think he can ride this out. Eventually, some other news is going to come up, probably in just the next 2 or 3 days. So I think he could actually stay on course, stay in office, if there's no new news.
Interesting. Okay, so how would you describe Congressman Weiner's role in Congress?
Congressman Weiner is a very vocal member of the House Democratic Party. When Democrats held control just last year, he was one of the leaders in the health care fight. He was actually often heard chastising President Obama for not going far enough in the health care fight, saying that a public option, a government-run program needed to be in place. Congressman Weiner is also a big proponent of gun control. The problem when you court that much media attention, as he often does, it can come back to bite you, and I think that's what's happening in the scandal.
Well, I wanted to ask that. I mean, will he be taken seriously now?
I think he's going to keep a much lower profile in Congress. I think we may not see him on as many chat shows, certainly not on Twitter as much. I think he's going to become much more of a backbencher, maybe work on constituent service to his district in Queens and Brooklyn, New York, and just not be out in public as much.
Let's switch gears now, because there are some other political stories to talk about. Former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum is the latest Republican to announce a presidential campaign. So how does he fit into the GOP field?
Rick Santorum was one of the most stalwart conservative Republican senators for a dozen years while he was in office. He did lose re-election by a wide margin in 2006. That has a lot of people doubting the role he's really going to play in this presidential race. The problem for Senator Santorum is his strongly held views on social issues, abortion, gay marriage, etc., line up pretty closely to other folks in the Republican primary field. So it's not clear at all where he kind of carves out a different niche.
President Obama has gotten some bad economic news over the last week, and now one of his most important economic advisors, Austin Goolsbee, is leaving the White House. So what kind of effect will this have on the president's economic policies?
Austin Goolsbee has been with President Obama and then candidate Senator Obama, going back 4 years or so to the early days of that upstart underdog campaign. He's been one of the key economic architects of the Obama stimulus program, even the healthcare program, free trade deals. So I do think it is a loss for the Obama administration. Politically, it may be a bit of a plus now that unemployment, unfortunately, is rising, going up. It may not be so bad for the Obama administration to look like maybe there's some turnover among top economic advisors.
All right, Politico's David Mark, as always, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you.
Thank you.